Tomorrow, April 8th of 2024, the Nintendo 3DS and Wii U, but we don't really care about the Wii U, internet service shuts down. Which is like, oh, womp womp. We knew this was coming for a while. They already shut down the eShop like a year ago now, which is crazy. And it was a matter of time. But honestly, for me, the saddest part about this is the fact that Wondertrade on the Nintendo 3DS Pokemon games, so X and Y, or S, and then Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun and Moon, is also going to be shut down forever. So, I'm sure I'm not the only person to do this idea, but I would like to trade a final 100 Pokemon in Pokemon Moon. Why Pokemon Moon? Well, it's the one I have the most nostalgic for. Pokemon X and Y and ORAS I didn't really Wonder Trade in because I didn't really understand what Wonder Trade was. But when Sun and Moon came out in Ultra Sun and Moon, I was Wonder Trade crazy. I got all the shiny level 100 Pokemon from the hackers online. And honestly, it was a really good time. So, what I ended up doing, and then what you're probably seeing right now, is I ended up catching 100 Fomantises because that is my favorite Gen 7 Pokemon. Hoping to get a shiny. I don't know. I'm only halfway through, so I could still get a shiny, but I have not yet. Plus Bonsley's, and I think I accidentally caught a Metapod in there somewhere. And I'm going to be trading 100 Pokemon to Wonder Trade, and we're going to see what we get. So, just like the time lapse you're seeing right now, what's going to happen is after I catch the rest of these 50 Fomantises on my own, I'm going to do a little time lapse of me Wonder Trading, and then at the end, I will show everything off. Kind of similar to what I did a few years ago with BDSP. If you haven't seen that video, I wouldn't blame you. Not a lot of people have. Basically, at the end, I'll just summarize, hey, I got this many Magikarps, and oh, I got this many probably Young Gooses. And maybe I'll even show what I got in order. But for right now, all I need to worry about is that we're going to be doing a time-lapse momentarily, and we're going to be saying goodbye to Nintendo 3DS Wonder Trade. It has been one heck of a ride, I guess. A lot of wasted time, for sure. But we're going to say one last goodbye, trade 100 final Pokemon, and we're going to see what we get. So, let's get started. The last ever Wonder Trade, number 100. I'm going to do right now. I don't know. I didn't really have an intro for that section. Yeah. I have Wonder Traded 99 Pokemon. A lot of them are very interesting, as you'll see in a moment. A lot of them actually tell stories, which is exciting. I'm happy to share some of the interesting characters I got while I was Wonder Trading. But there is still one more, and I figured, it's the last one. I might as well get it on film. So we're going to trade Wonder Trade. And yes, this is going to be the last Wonder Trade I ever do for Pokemon Sun Moon, because tomorrow, April 8th, 2024, it is donezoed, gone forever, unless, I don't know, I messed up and it's not actually done, but I'm pretty sure it is. So number 100, the last Fomantis. If you're wondering why I traded Fomantis, by the way, it's just because it's one of my favorite Gen 7 Pokemon. There's really no other reason than that. I was kind of hoping for a shiny one, because I do have an incomplete shiny hunt with one, but that's not what this video is about. We're saying goodbye to Wonder Trade, and hopefully our last ever Wonder Traded Pokemon will be something poetic. It's from Luna in Canada, as you can see on the bottom screen. And you can see my setup there, I guess, my phone. And the final Wonder Trade ever is going to be... That checks out. Initially, yes, this was going to be the final Wonder Trade. And no, I'm not doing 100 more Pokemon or something stupid like that. But I do have a few, hacked shinies that I have. I have a Miss Magus that I don't really want anymore. They're just kind of rotting away in my box. So I was going to trade away some of those. Yeah, this is the box of, hacked shinies. I have, Arceus, Shayma, whatever. I have this Miss Magus right here. And all I'm going to do is just simply give it away. See you later, Miss Magus. See? So all those times I got something cool off of Wonder Trade, all those level 100 hack shinies I used, I'm giving one of them back because, frankly, this guy, or girl, I guess, is pretty ugly. And you know what? It could be somebody else's problem. Hopefully they like it. And hopefully I don't just get a hacking YouTuber back, because I did get a few of those when I was doing it. So hopefully it goes away to just some random kid and they enjoy it. But, of course, we got to search for one. And it's going to Japan. All right, see you later, Miss Magus. And in return for my kind, in quotation mark, deed, let's see what we get. Ghastly. So, yeah, Ghastly is officially... Phantomonius, sorry, is officially the last Pokemon that I've ever gotten on Wonder Trade. So now what is going to happen is we're going to cut to me showing you every cool thing I got, running some statistics, and yeah, just generally saying an official goodbye to Wonder Trade for Pokemon Sun and Moon. So let's jump to that, shall we? Hey guys, and welcome to the review part of the 100 Pokemon Wonder Trade. I know I don't need to welcome you back because you just saw me trade all those Pokemon. But yeah, it's been a few weeks since I filmed the first part of this, and I've been busy in that time getting, I know, very interesting numbers and statistics for all of you. So, there's going to be two parts to this kind of wrap up to this video. The first part is what we're doing right now, is I'm going to calculate what the most common Pokemon I got was, and what the least common Pokemon I got was. And what I mean by that is I calculated the most common language, Pokeball, I'm scrolling, if they were hacked or not, so what percentage of Pokemon were hacked, what year was most commonly caught, what month and day, that was more of just guesstimation, so I got a day, so a specific day that I got the most from, if that makes any sense. What type was the most common, what gen was the most common, and of course, what Pokemon was the most common. So I figured that, I don't really have any good footage for this section, so while I am talking, I am just going to periodically Wonder Trade. Yeah, I know I made a big deal about the last one being oh my, this is the last Wonder Trade I'll ever do, but no, I still have to do this, and I don't know, I'll get rid of Bunnelby. I don't even know why I have Bunnelby. So we'll trade that. Meanwhile, I go through some statistics, starting with language. So, would you believe me if I told you that the most common language was English? And it's not even close. So, a whopping 64 Pokemon I got from this 100 Pokemon were English, making it 64%, because 64% of 100 is just 64. Followed closely with big quotation marks by Japanese, with 19 Pokemon coming in at 19%. I know. Who would have thought that English and Japanese would be the two most common languages? I am going to turn this down a little bit. And then we kind of drop off significantly. Weirdly enough, the next one up is French. I got 5 French Pokemon, making it a 5%. German was 4, making it 4%. Italian and Chinese simplified were 2 each, making them 2%. And then getting 1 Pokemon from both traditional Chinese and Korean leads them at 1%. Now, while that might not surprise you, the Pokeball section might actually surprise you a little more. I am going to Wondertrade while I'm doing this. So, again, shocker, would you believe it if I told you that the most common Pokemon I got was in Pokeballs? Yeah, not as much of a lead as English over Japanese, but I have 44 Pokemon that I got were indeed caught in Pokeballs, which makes sense. You know, if you breed a Pokemon, you get in an egg. Starter Pokemon are caught in eggs. I'm not surprised. I am surprised it's that low. I'm surprised that Pokeball didn't reach over 50% at least. But yeah, so Pokeballs stand at 44%. Ultra Balls go to 16%. That's the next one down. Then we go to Quick at 9%. Quick Balls are interesting because I ended up getting 4 of my own Pokemon sent back to me. So I guess, messed with the numbers a little bit because 4 of those were my Pokemon I caught in Quick Balls. But next up is Great with 6, which is surprisingly low. I thought there would have been way more great Pokemon, or Pokemon caught in Great Balls, I guess I should say. Then it's Dusk at 4%, Premier at 3, Nest and Moon also at 3. Moon was surprising because that's not really a ball I think is super common, but I guess, 3 Pokemon had Moon Balls, which, yeah, definitely caught me off guard. Coming in at 2 each, there's actually quite a few. We got Luxury Balls, Cherish Ball, which were both hacked, Dive Balls, and Repeat Balls, and then coming in at 1% is a Heavy Ball, a Net Ball, a Dream Ball, and strangely enough, a Master Ball. You will see that one later when we get to the more interesting Pokemon I got. In terms of hacked percentage, I will do another Wondertrade real quick. What I noticed about this is that there was a lot of Pokemon that were bred in Pokepelago, and I thought for the longest time that these Pokemon were hacked. But no, apparently in the Pokepelago, there is like this hot spring area where you can indeed breed Pokemon and like put the eggs there to hatch, which was honestly just news to me. So yeah, those Pokemon ended up not being hacked, but what else I noticed is that a lot of the dates, when I was running down the dates, a lot of them were from before 2016 when the game came out. For example, a lot of them were from 2011 or like 2012 or something like that, which is usually just people forgetting to set their 3DS clock, which I absolutely get. But that begs the question, should I consider those Pokemon hacked, or should those Pokemon be not hacked? I honestly didn't know, because yes, the Pokemon themselves are not hacked, but not all the data on them is legit information. So, the compromise I did here was I did a percentage with that and percentage without that. So, if you count the Pokemon with messed up dates as hacked, the percentage goes up to 27%. But if you don't, then it drops way down all the way back to 3%, which means there were 3 Pokemon, all were either legendary or mythicals, that I could for sure tell were hacked. Obviously, one of the level 1 freaking Grubbins I could have gotten could have also been hacked, but hey, I didn't know for sure, so I didn't want to make any guesstimates about what was hacked versus not hacked. Then, we have years. We're going on to dates now. I'll do day and month first, because this one I did not want to calculate all 12 months and all 30 to 31 days of a month. So I ended up just counting what I thought was going to be the most common, and surprising absolutely no one, considering I did almost all of these trades in March. March was definitely the most common month, and then weirdly enough, when I was calculating the day, the most common day I got was the 18th of March. So yeah, what do you know? But years was where it gets more interesting. Yes, obviously 2024 has 65% of the Pokemon I got, which just is not surprising in the slightest because surprise, in case you didn't know, 2024 is in fact the year that we're in now, and there's some very nice moves on that Axew I just got. And then it drops off significantly with all the other ones. 2023 only had 5% of the Pokemon. 2022 had 3%. 2021 also had 3%. 2020 had 1%, meaning there was one Pokemon I had from 2020. 2019 was 2%. 2018 and 17 were both 1% each. And then 2016 was 2%, which means two Pokemon I got, unless they were hacked or something like that, were actually caught the year the game came out, which I think is actually pretty cool, and I will also show this Pokemon off once we get to that section of the video. So yes, the most common date is March 18th, 2024, which makes sense because I'm pretty sure that's when I traded most of these Pokemon. And then we go on to types, and this is not going to equal 100%, obviously, because each Pokemon, like this Ladybug right here, will have two types, being Bug and Flying, so the numbers might not add up perfectly evenly to each other. Starting off with the most, actually, you know what, let's not start with the most common type. Let's go all the way down to the least common type, and somebody wants to link trade me, so I guess I'll do that real quick. Yeah, so the least common type with 1%, one Pokemon, and I know you're racing in your head, oh, is it Steel? Is it Dragon? Fire? What could possibly be the lowest type? If you said it was Ice, you would be correct, because Ice only had one Pokemon. But what I mean to say is that Dragon has 2%, being the second least common type. Rock and Ground each have 4%, being that they usually share types. So, for example, a Rock and Ground Pokemon are very common, especially in the earlier gens, so that does not surprise me that they're equal. Steel comes in at 5%. Fighting and Psychic come in at 5%, which is strange to me because the types that seem equivalent to each other, like the opposite types, often seem to have the same percentage, which is weird. Anyway, coming in at 6%, we do have actually 4 types: Poison, Ghost, Fire, and Grass. Grass is, of course, I guess messed up because I did trade away 4 Grass Pokemon and 4 Fomantises. But technically, I only got 2 Grass Pokemon if we don't count that. Fairy, Dark, and Electric all come in at 7%. And then the top 4 types, Electivire, that's a really cool trade, should come in as not much of a surprise to anybody. Bug has 10% of the total trades. Normal is 20%. And then Flying and Water come in at a tied total of 24%. So yes, Water and Flying did actually tie for first place, meaning that the most common Pokemon, we're going to skip gens for now, was Wingull. I got a lot of Wingull. I believe I have a number down here. Yep, I caught 8 Wingulls and 1 Pelipper, making it a total of 9 Wingulls, meaning 9% of all trades I did in one form or another were Wingull. For other common Pokemon, I have 3 Miniors, which was honestly a little strange. There was 4 Pick-a-Pecks. Again, that doesn't really make sense. I'm actually going to keep this guy. I'm going to trade away Hippopotas instead. Eevee I had 3 of, plus 1 Jolteon. Yungoos was 4, Caterpie was 3, and then Magikarp was also 3, with 1 Gyarados. So yeah, there's not as many common Pokemon as I thought there were going to be. They were actually pretty diverse in terms of the spreadsheet I did. And then there's also, of course, the gens, which is the final topic I'm going to cover. Going in order from 1 to 7, Gen 1 had 25% of all Pokemon, or a fourth. Gen 2 had 7%, Gen 3 had 18%, definitely helped out by the 10 Wingulls we got. Gen 4 only had 3%, which is very strange, especially coming from the Gen 4 heavy games we've had of the past few years. Gen 5 had 5%, funny enough. Gen 6 also had 5%. And then Gen 7 had 37% of the whole entire 100 Pokemon that I got, which I guess, thinking about it now, does in fact make a lot of sense. So, while I am going to go on to the boxes and show you some of the funny named Pokemon I got, I would quickly like to show you the spreadsheet I made. In case you were curious about any of the Pokemon I made, or any of the Pokemon I got, I made a spreadsheet, and I would like to share it with you. So here's the spreadsheet I made in case any of you were curious about, again, any of the Pokemon I got. The way I did this was I did Pokemon, Type 1, Type 2, Gen, Nickname, Order Traded, Original Trainer, Date Caught, Shiny, Hacked, Language, and then the ball they were in. Sometimes I'd have like little notes. This is when I was figuring out what was going on with the Pokepelago, or when Pokemon were transferred over, so like they wouldn't have dates and stuff. That's what it means. And yeah, I'm just going to quickly scroll through the list. I'm not going to cover every Pokemon, obviously, but in case you were curious about any of them at all, you can obviously just pause the video and look through the list. Anything that's in gold is what I'm going to talk about in a minute. That is why I put it in gold, so that way I remember to talk about it. Anything that is in purple was translated from another language. Anything that is in blue, I believe the date was incorrect, and then anything in green was hatched in the Pokepelago. So, yeah, we're getting on. You can also see that I have one extra Pokemon. This was the one I traded the Miss Magus for. It was a Zubat. It did not put the Zubat in the actual data, but the Zubat was part of the trades. So I put it as an honorable 101. No, it didn't play into the data, but yes, I did trade for it. So you know what? I put it on the list. But yeah, why don't we get on to some of the funnier Pokemon I got? Some of the ones that just have absolutely random names and just don't make any sense, shall we? So, of course, as mentioned earlier, and what should be expected of Wondertrade, is that we just got a bunch of junk. So, honestly, all these Pokemon are just like English, and they're just named nothing cool, and they are probably just caught at some point. So this is like a box and like a half of these kind of Pokemon. So if you traded me any of these Pokemon, just know that I'll probably Wonder Trade them again and or release them because they were not funny or interesting. There you go. I hope you feel bad about yourself. Yeah. But I'm going to put this back down here and pick it back up. We're going to go back to the more interesting ones, which is this box. As you can see, it is almost entirely full. We're going to talk about 29 Pokemon that I thought were particularly interesting. So, of course, we are going to start off with the ones that are in different languages, whether it just be an interesting name or one that I actually Google translated into my language. I thought these were going to be interesting to share. Remember, for the Japanese and Korean ones, I used Google Translate to find out what that roughly translated to. So please do not get mad at me if I just straight up mistranslated it, because I didn't do it. AI did, so it's not my fault. However, for these ones in like French or German or anything like that, you absolutely can flame me because I'm probably going to pronounce them very wrong. But we start off with Mimigal. We got Piafabek, Terhall, a Goalise. We got Valersi, and we got Picassant. Moving on to row 2. We got Starry, Rudiger, and then we go on to the translated ones, starting with, oh, this is a shocking one. This is Caterpie. We got Fukamaru, okay. We got Dobble. We got Yadon. We got Pikachu, which is just wrong. We have Seagull, which I guess is technically correct. And you might notice the ball it's in. Yeah, somebody traded me a Seagull in a Master Ball. And this is not like bred or anything. You can see it was caught on Route 1 at like level 7, which is what it is now. So no, somebody just threw a Master Ball at a Wingull a few years ago. And now it's in my possession for some reason. So I guess that's cool. We got Karomatsu. We got Mateno. We got Big Goose. No, I'm not kidding. We got a strong-jawed Henworm. This is Yayakoma. We got Macon Connie. Definitely said that one wrong. This Jolteon's name is just Standers. We got Komali, apparently. We got Cute Fly. Again, not wrong. Apologies in advance for this one, but is this Xiao Duer? There's like an X in there? I'm sorry. I really don't speak Chinese. We got Tosa Quinto and Mimikyu. Kind of an anticlimactic end to these guys. Now, moving on to the foreign ones that I thought were interesting. Starting off, we have 4 of my own guys that came back, including number 2, 19, 27, and 39. So if for some reason you got one and you were wondering which numbers are still out there, just know that number 2, 19, 27, and 39 are indeed not out there. And next up, we have this Vullaby, and this Vullaby is the one I was talking about earlier. So I'm going to show you the date this one was caught at, and you can see it was caught on Christmas Day of 2016, which is even more special than one other one that I got that's just in the garbage box. That was caught on 11/18, which I believe is the day the game came out. This one was caught on Christmas Day of 2016, which was the same day I originally played my original copy of Sun all the way back in the day. So, like, if you checked my rallet on my original Sun cartridge, the day would say 12/25/2016. So, me and this Vullaby, we go way back, even though I only caught him, or I didn't even catch him, even though I literally just got him on Wondertrade a few days ago. I feel like we have a special connection. Then we move on to the ones that just have nicknames that I thought were cute, like Beakers. Yeah, Michael, that's a normal nickname for a piggy peck, that makes sense. We go over here, we have Cheer. Again, pretty easy to see where that one comes from. We got DZ, getting a little out there. I do not understand DZ. I'm assuming it's somebody's cat's name that now I have, so thank you, Toby, I guess. Memento Mori. And this one required a Google search, but apparently, according to Google, Memento Mori is just like a personification of death in literature, which is pretty cool. You learn something new every day. We got Guapagon, which when I first heard it, I thought for sure was like a Digimon, but is actually not a Digimon. Somebody just named it Guapagon, and unless I was missing something on Google, I don't know where the name comes from. There's also Dunsparce, which is just not true. I'm sorry to break it to you. There is Poopy. There's Bob by Pokemon Boss. I like Bob. He's cool. We got Maz with the ID being probably a phone number. You're more than welcome to call it. Hey, listen, they sent it to me, so I'm going to dox them. I'm just saying. There's Jacob Horse, which was another Google search. So apparently, there is a YouTube channel called Drawfee, which I will not even lie to you, I haven't heard of before today. And they did like an episode of drawing where one of the people, probably named Jacob, drew a horse and they couldn't figure it out. So there's now this drawing called Jacob Horse, and it's kind of a meme. It's kind of a thing on their channel. But yeah, it's called Jacob Horse. And it was such a specific name that I just had to look it up. And there you go. There's your quick little Wikipedia lesson. We have a few hacked mythicals, and I am almost certain these are hacked. I guess they could not be, but the Obama site this Mart Shadow is holding kind of gave it away. This Victini, I just don't think they've done a shiny Victini giveaway event, but I guess it's cool. And then we also have a Raikou, which is, yeah, very hacked. We also have a Kakuna, which is a much less interesting shiny Pokemon to have gotten. And I mean, in the name, it literally just says Mikasa Mods YT. So, like, yeah, shout out to Mikasa Mods YT, I guess. I don't know if they wanted a shout out or not, but they got one. I got your Kakuna, which means they have a Fomantis. There's number 29, the cast form. And this one's interesting from Arrow. So I'm assuming that they did the same thing that I did, which is where you catch a certain amount of a certain Pokemon, you put them out on Wondertrade just before the service shuts down. Which, unfortunately, because of my laziness yesterday, this video will probably be going out on the 8th. So today, it's done today. What do you know? Yeah, so if you guys know where this cast run came from, let me know. I would genuinely love to. We also have, oh boy, we also have Dojo KK Dojutsu, which is a very well thought out and special name. We have Shiny Tepig. I have bad news for you. There's also Guest House. Again, would love to know the meaning of this one. Is it because he can like blend into the guest house and become one with like he's a chameleon, so he like blends in? I don't know. Guest house. And then this Incineroar is very interesting to me because this Incineroar, I'm going to show you real quick, is genuinely just somebody's starter. Like you see, you've got there's already XP on it. You can see he's got like a full move set, and what's more important to me is that he has the Alola champion ribbon, which is just very strange. Now it's not somebody's starter, as I'm realizing now, because it was hatched in Royal Avenue, but it was a Pokemon somebody used on their team, or at least beat the league with, and they just gave it away. Why? No idea, but apparently I just have somebody's playthrough Incineroar now, which is very strange. And then there's two final Pokemon, and these two Pokemon are genuinely my favorite I've gotten. So we're going to start off with Matt's Jury 2 from Tammy. What? Is Matt on jury duty twice? What is going on with that? I would absolutely love an explanation for this. If I could talk to the person that gave this to me, I would be all ears. So if you want to make up a story about where you think this Torchic came from, I will be all ears because that is all that was going through my mind while I was doing Wonder Trades because I did 100 of these. And then, don't worry, it gets even better than that. We have the man, the myth, hashtag Quagire, who is just an absolute legend. Not only is this a legit shiny as far as I can tell, I believe it's a wormhole shiny. I had to look up if faraway place actually meant that. But as far as I know, this is an absolutely legit Quagsire named hashtag Quagire, which is just the absolute funniest name it could possibly have. I kid you not, I am so in love with hashtag Quagire. I cannot even put my love into words. And it is definitely, by far, even more than Matt's Jury 2, the funniest and most interesting Pokemon I got from my 100 trades. But yeah, that is that. We are officially done with Pokemon 3DS Wonder Trade. And yeah, I am a little bit emotional. Again, it is like just a game, and Pokemon Moon can still be played, and I'm already seeing videos. Don't tell Nintendo. I'm already seeing videos about how to restore the online on your 3DS and Wii U. So it's not necessarily going away forever, and I'm sure I could find a way around it. But in terms of just legit sitting in my room at like midnight on the call with my friends, just Wonder Trading, hoping to get level 100 shiny Pokemon that were definitely 100% legit off of Wonder Trade are over. Well, I guess they were over a while ago, but now they are officially over. Yes, we have Scarlet and Violet and Sword and Shield and whatever else. Let's go. But I don't know. There was something special about this game, especially Pokemon Moon and Sun specifically, not Ultra, not XY, Sun and Moon, or S. Sorry, Sun and Moon is the game we're playing right now. But I don't know. I am going to miss it. But again, this video was kind of my last hurrah, my official goodbye to Pokemon Moon Wonder Trade. I'm going to wrap things down here. I really did hope you enjoyed, and I really hope that you enjoyed Pokemon Moon Wonder Trade, just like in general. If you have like a good memory or like a favorite Pokemon you've ever gotten, like hashtag Quagire here, let me know in the comments. I would genuinely love to hear it. It would make my day just to hear you guys talk about Pokemon Wonder Trade. But yeah, that is all I have for you today. So thank you very much for watching. Remember to take care of yourselves because mental health is important. And I'll see you all in my next video. And ta-ta for now.